In this example, we're going to look at the different calculations that we may be asked to do on reducing balance loans. So here we've borrowed $10,000. Okay, we're told it's a reducing balance loan and it's an interest rate of 7% per annum. We also know we pay $2,000 off at the end of every year. What you've got to know is that because we haven't been told how many times interest is compounded, we assume it's done at the end of each year because that's when the repayments are made. The first thing we're asked to do is to calculate the length of the loan. And we can do this using the TVM solver on our calculator. If you haven't already got it, we want to use compound interest. In this case, we're trying to find out the length of the loan, so that's N. So we'll leave that blank. The interest rate is 7%. We're borrowing $10,000. That is positive because we're borrowing it, so we are being given it. We then pay $2,000 every year, and that has to be negative because we are paying it out. The future value of the loan is 0 because we don't want to owe anything, and we know we're making payments every year, once a year, and interest is compounded once a year. To then solve how many years, we just click on N, and it tells us it's 6.37 years, which rounds to 7 years. Now we're being asked to calculate the amount still owing at the end of every year. So what we're going to do, we're going to change our number of years to 1 and keep everything else the same. And we want to find the future value, which is $8,700. So after 1 year, $8,700 is still remaining. Then, to work out after 2 years, we're going to change that to 2 and click on FV. So after 2 years, there's $7,309 remaining. After 3 years, there's $5,820.63 remaining. After 4 years, $4,228. After 5 years, $2,524. And after 6 years, there's $700. Now, after 6 years, the final amount owing is $700.72, but because we're not paying that off immediately, we still have to work out the interest on that. To find the amount of the final repayment, we need to work out 7% of $700.72 and add that on, because that's the amount plus the interest. We can actually just do this on our calculator, so we use the exact value. So in the FV box, we just times that value by 1.07 to give us $749.77, which is how much the final payment is. To calculate the total interest paid, we find out how much we've paid in total and take away what we borrowed, and the difference is the interest. So the amount that we paid in total, we paid 6 lots of $2,000, okay, plus the final amount, which was $749.77. So in total, we paid $12,000, $749.77. So the interest is the amount that we paid, $12,749.77, minus the amount that we borrowed, which was $10,000. So the interest we paid was $2,749.77. The final two things that we're trying to find out is how much of the principal was paid off during the 3rd year and how much interest was paid during the 3rd year. First thing we need to do is work out the principal paid off during that 3rd year. In order to do that, we need to know how much was owing at the start of the third year, so that's at the end of the second year. So we make N is 2, and the amount that was owing was $7,309. $7,309. That was the amount owing at the end of the second year. Then work out how much is owing at the end of the third year, which is $5,820 and 63 cents. The principal that we've paid off is the difference between them, and we can work that out on our calculators by doing 7,309 take away 5,820 and 63 cents, which comes out to be $1,488.37. So that's how much of the actual loan we have paid off during the third year. Remember though, we paid $2,000 every year. So there's some money that's not been paid to pay off the loan, and that's been the interest that we've paid. So the interest paid during the third year is the amount that we've paid, which is $2,000, and we take away the principal that's paid, $1,837. You can either do that in your head or go back to your calculator, 2,000 minus the answer. So the interest we paid in the third year was $500.63.